Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a video I've wanted to do for quite some time where we look at MTG websites that you probably have seen, maybe not, but things you can use in your everyday today Magic adventure to make your life a little bit easier. I've tried to group things up together, so like the shops are together, data searching websites are together, deck buildings together, things like that.
Well, hang on, you've just...
No, I like it. This is brilliant, but I like
So
this.
shops up first. One thing we noticed, depending where you live in the world, depends how you like to price up your cards. Star City tends to be the more expensive of the big boys, but in Australia we like to use it for one-to-one conversion rather than actually using the Australian to US dollars and all that. So it's kind of our preference, but some people have different things. So I've looked up Lightning Bolt in all the main shops for a bit of a comparison. I personally do like Star City's search engine, just a little bit easier to work with. You can buy singles, you can buy old vintage stuff on here too. I won't stay too long on the shop though, because you're either a fan of that shop or not. Channel Fireball, very much a similar effect. I like that you can flick through and choose between all your conditions of your card. And they've got the full visual listings here, so if you're not so sure on a set or what set it's from, you can find it quite easy. TCG Player tends to be the cheaper one. Really good search engine, do more than just Magic of course. Only thing is, well, two big things actually. They're listed by other sellers, not just Star City or whatever. It can be other mini traders underneath them within the banner of TCG Player. And with that, you see a lot of things like, 168 listings low as $3.30, whatever. It's because they can price gouge each other or try and go underneath each other for price cutting. Plus, the low as can also include the condition. It might be heavily played, damaged, affecting the pricing. Second big thing to note with TCG is a lot of websites use TCG as the market because there's a lot of sales going on. It's a good way to indicate the health of the card, how much it's actually trading for. So a lot of other websites kind of plug in and use their sales figures and numbers. And Card Kingdom is probably the other big one, which is the more newer of the boys really. I personally don't even really touch Card Kingdom, not my thing. I definitely like TCG and Star City, they're my two big ones. But everyone to their own. It's a perfectly fine store, just not my preference really.
Take no prisoners, comrades.
Okay, onto the fun ones. Get the horrible stores out of the way. The stocks, the trading. MTG Stocks is probably my most favourite Magic website. I don't know why, I love seeing the numbers in the trade. So when you come onto the website, first thing you see is just the homepage. I love reading the weekly news updates. You can go on there, you can see kind of what the hot topics are, what cards have spiked hard, why. At the bottom they often do great pickups and bottom out trends, things you might want to pick up nice and cheap. Really cool, just a weekly theme to look at. But the main thing is, when you go into MTG Stocks, you go into interest, you're going to have everyday updates a couple times a day, and you're going to go through and look at the cards. Always, you can put filters, you can change things, play with it, whatever you want to do. So you've got regular, foil, market, and market foil. Regular is kind of what's being listed at what price. Foil is the same for that, but foil printings. Market is what's actually selling on TCG. That's a bit more of a true indicative of what the price is. So Exalted Dragon here is currently selling in market $310, but on regular it's $64 because someone's jacking up the price trying to unload a ton of them. A great thing about MTG Stocks too, if you're into the more old school reserve list and that, if a card's got an asterisk next to it, reserve list. Good way to indicate what's moving. And plus, we know the last 2-3 weeks, reserve list old school has been going up hard, even like real janky stuff. Other things the website has is analytics, where they got all-time highs and lows, EVs for box sets and that. But my favourite is handy lists. You can find all the maybe filter lands, land types, mystery cards, whatever you can, weird like categories to look at. But the main one is the reserve list. Here's an up-to-date reserve list. You can search it, filter it however you like. If you want to go alphabetical, by set, pricing, whatever, you can play with it and find out cards you might personally want to go into. Really like MTG Stocks. I check it a couple times a day, just a good habit. You can even search by full set. I don't know, say let's look at Zendikar Rising. All the cards are there. We can organise it by price descending and see what the most expensive are. We know being Zendikar Rising, Mythics or nothing, boom, that proves it right there. All market trade price. Another similar site using the same data basically is MTG Dawn Glare. Not as user friendly, I'll admit that. The site is pretty simple, you got to kind of know what you're doing, but at the same time, it can be very visual if you want to see the cards categorized by pricing. For example, let's look at just the visualizer at the top here. You just pick a set, let's say we pick, I don't know, Alpha Edition. This is going to be an expensive one to do. And you go submit. Give it a little bit, it'll bring up all the cards and it'll try and group them close as it can within price categories. But Alpha being Alpha and the prices are never really what they are, not the best example. Let's pick something more recent. Commander 2014, actually doing quite well, and we'll turn Alpha off. There you go, far more realistic. So you can see Jet Medallions, Titania, they're your $26 cards. You can actually see the cards grouped together, and it gives you a good curve, and you can set a minimum, a maximum, whatever you want to do to play with. So this, for example, is currently default any card over $2 or higher, and you can see the grouping of the entire set. You can go in and tweak it, put your different options in, minimum pricing, rarities, all that good stuff. They also have all the sets here, so you can see, find a set you want to look at, and the great thing is too, it shows the pricing for common, uncommons, rares, and mythics in a set, not just lump them together. So if you may be going to a local game shop where you want to dig through the bins of common, uncommons, you might be able to find a couple high value cards hidden with there by looking at this list. Things like that. For example, I don't know, pick Unglued. You can see there's a few Unglued cards here in common worth a few dollars, same in uncommon, stuff like that. I'll admit, not a website I use too much, but it is a handy option for some people. I still do prefer MTG Stocks myself, but it's picking the same data. You got up here at the top right, the source for the actual sales, TCG market. That's what most people are going to go with.
I'm not full auto, it's not full auto. That's not full auto.
Okay, on to deck building. EDH Rec is a really powerful one. Been around forever. Everyone uses it. When you come to the website, they've got a great homepage where they're showing other people's content, other YouTube videos, cool deck ideas, articles. They really do engage with the community. Love it, 10 out of 10. Here you can see commanders and how a deck will be constructed. You can look by color combinations. For example, let's look at mono white commanders. It'll show you from number 1 down to the least popular commanders. So apparently number 1 white mono commander is currently Saram at 961 decks registered. And if you look at the least popular, you can go all the way down to, I don't know, some janky ass thing from, I don't know, there you go, Homelands, whatever that is. But you can click on a commander and you can look at as a deck in different ways. So Saram, it will show you, for example, Commander's Plate. Really popular new card. 61% of the decks are running it, 61% of synergy. So probably really good cards included into your deck. You can look at the cards that would be likely to be in the deck, broken up to creature types, down to instants, so Path Exile, most mono white decks, of course. Sorceries. Steel Shaper's Gift makes sense, it's an equipment deck, definitely see it there. So you can kind of get a breakdown for that commander as a general overview, but if you want to be more particular, you can go up to the top and you can look at as auras, vehicles, cheap, budget. So let's say we just want to do vehicle with Saram. You want to ride it into the ground. So for example, this would be a Saram vehicle themed version. These would be the kind of cards you'll see. And of course, top cards, all the vehicles that would be likely in the deck. So it's a really cool way to see other themes for a deck you want to do. You can also look at it in other color combinations. So let's look at the 5 colors. So who's the number 1 5-color commander right now? It is Goalless. Of course it's Goalless, the land commander that matters. And same thing, it's going to give you a full breakdown of the commander, more than 100 cards. So you've actually got to go through and pick the cards that are going to work with the deck, keep the mana curve down, don't want to go too high. But for example, Saram being a really popular commander, look at all the different variations. You've got Legends, Enchantments, Dragon, Tribal, Cycling, Chaos, Ram, Blink. Tons of different ways to build Saram. Not Saram, Goalless. Really cool commander. It even does the lands for you at the bottom. It'll show the kind of lands people are running in the deck, the most popular options anyway. But don't just copy it, you got to pick your own stuff that will help your deck, because if you just copy, you might be wrong in certain mana curves. While we're here, you can search by sets, which is really cool. Let's say you want to look at Zendikar Rising, you want to see what the cool Zendikar Rising, you're not going to play? There we go. You working? There we go, yep. Zendikar Rising. Don't know why it hates me. Shows you what the most popular commanders are from that set downwards. Of course, the new Omnath 4-color, really powerful commander. You can see what the cool cards are, so not actual commanders, but what cards are seeing play. You can kind of get an idea for commander staples in a sense. Really cool. If you're unsure what you want to build, maybe look up themes. You can go, alright, I like zombies. What are zombie themed commanders? Stuff like that. So Control F. Let's find zombies. There we are, zombie decks. So we've selected zombie, and it'll show what the current zombie commanders are. So you got the Lich, Queen, Scarab God, Gisser and Geralf, just Gisser on her own. These are the kind of commanders that you could play with if you want to go full zombie. Another really good website to use is Tapped Out. Great for sharing deck lists with other people. Not the easiest website to use, sometimes can be a little bit clunky, but the information and the way it displays it is great. For example, let's look up the video I did called Got Crabs, just a mono blue, little bit of green in there, but it's not really, just a mill deck, all about those mill crabs. You can easily see the cards broken up to the types, instants, the land, sorceries. You can see the price of the card to buy it on TCG. For example, Got Crabs is about $70 on TCG Player, pretty good. Over here you can see the breakdown of the colors. Green in this deck doesn't really matter because I've got some hybrid cards, that's why. You can see the breakup of all your card types, your mana curve, the, I guess, distribution of rarities, commons, uncommons and all that. It gives you a lot of information to work with. A great way to share decks with your friends. And shameless plug, my videos are on there, yeah, hint hint. Great website, 10 out of 10. Most Magic players use it to share information. Another great one if you're trying to find out information about the formats and metas, MTG Goldfish. Great way to look at metagames, see what currently people are playing in that particular format. So I've just gone over to decks over here and gone metagame, and we're in standard. So currently Izzet Control is huge in standard, nearly, well, just over 12%. You can look at it, Vintage Legacy, Competitive Commander, Modern's kind of in the ground right now for most players, but Omnath still kicking around at nearly 9%. I haven't even looked at some of these, I'm a bit out of Modern myself. Burn, nearly 3%, shows you the price. You can actually click on the deck, it'll give you a breakdown of a particular deck in that format. So Burn, of course Lara's doing quite well, being able to play things from your graveyard. But yeah, a really good way to look at the hardcore competitive formats, see what people are playing with, if you want to try and get into that way too. Okay, onto actual information websites. There's two big ones that everyone uses, Scryfall and Gatherer. I personally think Scryfall is better, 100 times, no question asked. Simple, you just come to this webpage on Scryfall, just type in any keyword you want to look for. Let's just go with Goblin. Looking for the good old gobbos. Anything with the actual word Goblin in the title will appear here. Simple as that. From here you can just click up the top, you can sort by rarity, price, so the most expensive goblins will be at the top. So Goblin Wizard, reserve list. You can click on any card. When you're here, it will show you the pricing, where it's legal. I love this information, it's so handy when you're mid-game, you got questions and stuff like that. So for example, Goblin Wizard, part of the reserve list states there, legal in Vintage Legacy and Commander. Only printing is from the Dark. Master Edition is an online thing, doesn't count. Let's pick something more recent. Let's go back to the Goblins. Let's say, who's had multiple printings? Goblin Bombardment. Card's had a few printings. Legal in Commander, Vintage Legacy 2, but you can see all the different sets here. You got Mystery Boosters all the way back to Tempest. You can click on all view printings and it will show you them all visually, from newest to oldest. Again, you can change how it sorts. Really cool if you're quite a visual person like myself, but the most powerful part about Scryfall is advanced searching. Great for Commander players out there. So it brings you here. You can search for any keyword in the card name, so the title box. Any word that will be in the text box. So you can see here I've been looking up Infect, Part in the Middle, Devotion. Keywords that really come up. Don't want to give away too many deck ideas. Type line. So is it a legend, a creature, stuff like that. You can search for any weird words. Colors, I don't actually use that part too much. I use Commander for the color identity. Right, for example, let's look up Black Goblins. So black identity ticked here. We got Goblin. He's going to look for any goblin that's black within Magic. It's looking in those two fields, crossing them over, and you just go search. Boom. So it's going to show us probably 31 goblins that are black and are a goblin. And they can be played in Commander, of course. If you want to get really particular, you can type a mana cost, you can look up stats, you can look up the formats, search by set if you want a particular card. Hell, even down to the artist if you're trying to build some weird troll build. Scryfall is great, cannot recommend it enough, it's a powerful website. Gatherer, I do not like anymore because I have found Scryfall. Gatherer is actual Wizard's own thing, so you can just search. You can go advanced, actually, it does help quite a bit. And you have similar tools, but the website's just not as good. I feel Scryfall just is better for me, but user preference. So let's just look up, again, Goblin, see what comes up. It will bring them in a not as good list. I feel like you don't get as much information. Yeah, a little bit more restrictive. You got through a few more pages to go through. It doesn't load as quickly as Scryfall, I don't know why. It's not my computer, I've got a bloody monster rig here. It just, I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. But it is the same information. But when you do find a card you want to look at, let's say we look at Goblin Burrows, it'll give you some information, but not all at once, which I don't like. So you got here the actual breakdown of the card, all its Oracle up-to-date stuff, its printings of other sets down here. you can select them or change it over to that current printing. But the sets in the gallery, you could go over to the next part. You want to see what language it's in, you have to go to another tab. I feel like Scryfall puts that information in one hit and simplified. But everyone to their own. Some people do love Gatherer. I'm just more of a Scryfall man myself.
Nice.
Okay, so you're into spoilers. You want to know what new cards are coming out when. You can't wait. You don't even know about the videos yet. You just want to see the card for yourself. A couple websites I like to use. Mythic Spoiler, my number one website. Love them. The guys here do some amazing work, and the comment sections are full of some absolute legends. Some real funny shit here, not gonna lie. So when you come to here, it'll show you the current set. So all the colors, cards organized like that. But you don't care about that. You want to know what's coming out now. Newest spoilers. It'll go by current date. So today, Saheeli and Ponder. They've got Secret Lair editions, the Black History Month one for Magic. And you can see we've got back here January. These guys are up to date. They do really well. Can't praise their work enough. Good work, lads. I don't know. Just pick anything major. Like if it's a rare or higher, tons of comments, people talking about it. Some people down there have some actually really good comments and ideas. Some of you are just trolling, but great website. Lots of ads, as you can see, get lots of ads for PC building myself here. Magic Spoiler, great website too. Very much the same effect. You just go into the homepage and show the hottest new cards. Side note, the Judge promos. I know this is from late January. The Gitrog monster. How much of a Nurgle creature is that from Warhammer? Just saying. Yeah, these guys do great work. Like I said, you're talking a couple minutes between timing of getting new spoilers out. So either site, take your pick. I think I like Mythic Spoilers a little bit better just because it's easier. You just go newest spoilers, bang, here they are in date order. I just like the simplicity of it. Plus the comment section, I love those guys in there. Back to Scryfall, they do pretty good on the spoilers. When you're on the homepage, you'll pop down here at the bottom, you'll have the new set and whatever they've got. They do lag behind a little bit, and their translations for non-English aren't the best. They put weird random troll names in there, so don't actually think they're real. Good fun though, they do a bit of comedy there. And they do keep up to date-ish. They're not as quick as other guys, but hey, if you're not like, need to know this hour, they're pretty good. And the actual Magic website ain't too bad itself. Just articles, whether it be new spoilers, new sets, bannings, all that kind of information. They'll put it here. I wouldn't worry too much though, because most of the websites that do spoilers will just strip it from here and upload it on the website, and it'll be a lot quicker and easier for you to look at. And of course, the best website for Magic players, YouTube, of course. There's hundreds of great YouTubers out there. Take your pick. Side note, you can totally see I've been doing a lot of Warhammer lately. Like, Warhammer doing me some good. And Russian Badger, love them. But pick a YouTuber. The Command Zone, I love those guys. A lot of people do. Star City do quite well as well. Find a YouTuber that you like. There's plenty of great Magic YouTubers out there. Shameless plug, myself, of course. The dumb Australian, why not? So there's hundreds of websites out there. These are the ones I feel help me the most in my Magic adventures. I can find out spoilers, pricing, cool deck combinations. Rules are really good on these websites too, especially Scryfall if you want to get real nitty gritty like iterations. They've got it down at the bottom. If there's anything I haven't mentioned, put them down below. Anything that could help other players out, let us know. There are lots of Magic sites there, so see what you got. Alright, thank you guys and have a good one. Ta-ta.